Thank you, Dave. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Well, we've heard some wonderful stories this evening. I want to start with a few words from a poem by W.H. Auden that many of you will know from the Spanish Civil War, Spain, 1937, and it fits incredibly well with what Luciana has just been talking about people arriving naked. I hadn't noticed until recently how much there is about migration in Auden's poem. He writes about people who migrated like gulls or the seeds of a flower. They clung like burrs to the long expresses that lurch through the unjust lands, through the night, through the alpine tunnel. They floated over the oceans. They walked the passes. They came to present their lives. What an extraordinary phrase that is. Not visas, papers, passports, their lives. Last autumn we held a fundraising event at Sandy Brown's studio in Appledore. This was the North Devon Green Party's fundraiser for refugees. And it was graced by the presence of a wonderful man called Hubert Moore, who lives in Kent and works a lot with asylum seekers and refugees. And he helps them with language and to help them to tell their story. And the one I want to read is from his book called The Bright Gaze of the Disoriented. And it's called Boy's Name. The wooden post in the pond where the kingfisher perches is a bare post, and indeed, when they asked you your name, you couldn't say anything. You knew it, of course. You'd answer if somebody said it. Kingfishers come back. They don't abandon their ponds. Look, it's there, staring into the water. You lost everything, home, family, country. How did you bring that totally warm smile through immigration? Or did it come in hanging under a lorry? So much is closed down now, barricaded on the narrow streets of your memory. It would be good if, in its quite un-English plumage, there on its post was the kingfisher. But it's not. There's only a post. Enough that your lost name, its kingfisher colours, I still can't really pronounce, flits between blackened houses and comes laughing back to you. And I want to finish with a poem I wrote a few years ago, also about wildlife. We heard from Dave earlier a reminder of David Cameron's notorious use of the word swarm. Well, of course, he is equally merciless to swarms of bees as to swarms of refugees, as we know. And the bee colonies are under threat because of the behaviour of this government in not understanding the risks of dangerous pesticides. So this is a poem I read at a War on Want fundraiser for refugees in East Devon in January, and it seemed to fit quite well in the evening, although it's called St. Mark's Flies. The most haunting new word I've recently discovered is precarity, meaning the condition of complete precariousness, living in complete precariousness, like the people we've been hearing about tonight. So this is a poem about precarity. St. Mark's Flies, they emerge, they're called that because they generally emerge on St. Mark's Day, the 25th of April. I met them one early evening of this long, late, insect-less spring, sailing a mild breeze, swooping between the hedgerows, looping along, legs trailing, dangling through the air, riding their ski chairs, the westering sun landing smack on each millimetre broad back, filling each tiny body with infinity, these flying sparks of gold, careering aeronauts so bold at voyaging their earth, charged with cosmic warmth and fearless, if precarious. Thank you.